Good day, everyone. I am Ruela S. Cristobal, 18 years old, a resident of Pendahan, Tayasa, Negros Oriental. This video is I'm going to discuss the 5 types of barriers of effective communication. Among those 9 types of barriers of effective communication, there are 5 barriers that I will discuss this video. First is language barrier. Language barriers usually occur when two persons speak different languages, cannot understand one another, and there is breakdown in language and communication. Language barriers also limit the knowledge of individuals too. Indeed, they cause the big impact on our lives. And getting rid of them completely might be impossible. The impact of language barrier is can cause unnecessary misunderstanding, and many people get frustrated or irritated easily, which can even lead to conflict. My experience about language barrier is when I was senior high school, I have a classmate that she can't understand Bisaya language. I was sitting in the classroom together with my classmates, eager to engage about the exciting part of the research we were all working on. That classmate that she can't understand Bisaya language asked me of what is the research is all about. And then I tried to give my opinions and ideas of what is the research is all about and why did we choose that topic. Suddenly, the classroom went quiet, and I got lots of funny looks. I was overcome with embarrassment as I realized what had happened. The reason why that they are all quiet because she can't understand my explanation and I'm not expert in English speaking, especially on grammars. And I will overcome this kind of experience through reading those unfamiliar words, especially watching the people who speaking is also can help me to add my new words, expression or entire phrases to my vocabulary. Second, emotional barrier. Emotional barrier is a mental block that influences how you perceive others' actions and prevents you from clearly communicating your feelings. And especially, emotional barriers can trigger emotional response that's inappropriate or unproductive. There are 2 types of emotional barrier, positive and negative. The example of positive emotional barrier is happiness. And the example of negative emotional barrier are stress, depression, anxiety, trauma, and pride. This is my experience about emotional barrier. I feel so stressed when I have a online class because I can't understand carefully the discussion of the instructor because of my connection. And especially, there are many activities that I need to do that sometimes I can't answer the test given by the instructor because when the tired hits me, I don't want to study. And then I will overcome this kind of experience through do well on the tests and activities given by the instructor and to study well. Third, cultural barrier. Cultural barrier is an issue arising from a misunderstanding of meaning caused by cultural differences between sender and receiver. It is also cause outright conflict, but more often it creates stress in the workplace. This is my experience about cultural barrier. Every Sunday when I was senior high school, I always go to church together with my family. And there is one Sunday that after the service, there are 2 people coming from other religion that they want to debate because details that their belief is really true. And because of I don't want to lose my beliefs, I will give my explanation to them that my beliefs is really true than their beliefs. And I will overcome this kind of um, experience through talking to other people from different culture and exchange the views about what it's like in theirs and what it's like in yours, and ask questions about their culture and share information about yours, and finally found out the similarities and differences. Fourth, physical barrier. Physical barriers are structural obstacle in natural or man-made environments that prevent or block mobility or access. Physical barrier of communication is the factors that interfere with a conversation. They can materialize from the natural environment or be a product of human creation. The elements that prevent sender from delivering the message to the receiver, or they can cause the receiver misinterpret the message. My experience about physical barrier of communication are lack of attention, interest, distractions, especially speech difficulties. I am experiencing this kind of physical barrier of communication because there is one time that I am talking to one of my friend, but I can't communicate here well because the noise around. As we all know that through noise we can create misunderstanding and conflict that we can't understand each other because the noise join the communication. I will I will overcome this kind of experience that if you need a conversation, you need to a proper place for it to avoid noises or misunderstanding the conversation. And there are places that appropriate in terms of communication. The last one is attitude barrier. Attitude barriers are behaviors, perceptions, and assumptions that discriminate against person with disabilities. These barriers often emerge from lack of understanding, which can lead people to ignore, to judge, or have a misconceptions. This is also the behaviors and perceptions that can prevent people from communicating effectively. Attitude barriers of communication may result from personality conflict, poor management, resistance to change, or lack of motivation. This is my experience about attitude barrier. There are some people judge me that I can't finish my study because I didn't have a high degree of mental ability. But I will overcome this kind of experience through forcing myself to make my dream come true in order to show them someday that the people who judge about myself is my motivation, the reason why I'm strong. Language barrier, emotional barrier, culture barrier, physical barrier, and attitude barrier are the five barrier of effective communication I'll choose to discuss among those nine types of barrier of effective communication to give the description and definitions, especially in giving my experience and how I'll overcome that kind of experience. That's all. I hope that you learned something about my discussion. Thank you and God bless us all.